my goodness, it's been, I think, 5 weeks. And Cat finds to join us. Hello, Kitty. Okay. It's been something. I could definitely say that. I could say definitely say much to that regard. I could definitely say much to that regard. But as of right now, there is some stuff we got to talk about. But I'm gonna wait until everybody. I'm gonna wait until everybody has joined in, so that way we can talk about what stakes do we have for this game, of course. Because it's been a while. I mean, the last game I did was back in week 3, and that was the overtime controversy. That was the Storm and Kings, and that was a good game until the freaking ending. Until the ending of that game. So that was fun. So we're at the final game, week 8. Now we are really getting into the gritty ditty here. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Alrighty, let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, let's do this. All right. We are near the end of the regular season. We are at the final game of week 8 of this UFL regular season. 3 games are down, 1 more game to go today. And today we have the Columbus Aviators that are traveling to Birmingham to take on the Stallions. Both teams are looking to get a crucial win to stay alive for the playoff contention. Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Lightning Lounge. It's a long time coming. It's been a bit. School kept me busy, but hey, I got some time. We are here. Let's get right down to business, shall we? So there's one thing that is definitely at stake when it comes to today. And right now, today, if the Columbus Aviators, lose today, they are eliminated from playoff contention. And of course, right here, the bottom line will be there as a reminder if you're just joining in for the UFL. What is at stake right now? Again, if Columbus lose, they will be eliminated from playoff contention with a loss to the Birmingham Stallions. This week 8 has been crazy, as a random guy is saying. Kings are low-key scary, not gonna lie. Let's take a look at the standings, because the standings as of right now, when it comes to the playoff picture, is very interesting, to say the least. So let's take a look at the standings. So let's take a look. So the only team, and of course, that's under the bottom line as well, scrolling across, the Orlando Storm, the Orlando Storm is the only team that have clinched a playoff spot for the time being. The Battlehawks and the Defenders had a chance to clinch a playoff spot yesterday, but both of them did not succeed in doing that. DC lost shockingly to the Kings, getting not only losing, but getting swept by the Kings. So now they've lost 2 times in a row to the Kings, 33-30 now. And the Battlehawks took probably the most shocking upset of this season, as they lost to the Houston Gamblers 23-16. So Battlehawks did not take an advantage and win to clinch a playoff spot. They will have to wait up to next week. So now it's wide open. What's more interesting about this playoff race is not the top 3, but who's going to get the bottom 3. The Kings, with 2 wins in a row against the DC Defenders, the Kings are 4-4, which is really interesting. The Kings are 4-4. If they need to stay in that final spot, they got to root for the Stallions to lose, because Stallions beat the Kings all the way back in week 1. which was a low-scoring but close affair. And if the Stallions win, they will retrieve the fourth seed back. But right now, that fourth spot belongs to the Kings. However, Gamblers were in a similar situation as the Aviators. They would have lost yesterday. They would have been out. They would have been eliminated from playoff contention. But with that being the case, with the win, they are still alive. Right now, they would have to root for the Kings to lose whoever they are playing next week, and the Stallions would need to keep on losing. Well, there's one team that did lose that kind of helped the Kings for their favors. It's Dallas, the Dallas Renegades. Oh my goodness. Like, I would like to talk about a lot about what's happening with the Renegades as of recently, but because of time, because the game is about to start in a couple of minutes, we're just gonna save that until like we reach the halftime. Because the downfall of the Dallas Renegades needs to be studied. It needs to be studied. Like, I'm not lying. It has to be studied because there's no way how Dallas now over elimination next week. I mean, if the King, I would think they would be they would be eliminated just by looking at the standings right now. If the Kings win and Dallas lose. So wait, so random guy, what is next week's slate? I know the Defenders are playing against the Storm. I know that for the final 2 weeks. But what is week 9 slate? Can you give me a reminder? Who does Dallas face? Who does the Kings face? And who does the Stallions face? Because I know it's going to be very, very interesting. Kings Renegades. Really? Oh, baby. Kings and Renegades? Then this is Aviators and Birmingham. So that means Battlehawks and Gamblers? Battlehawks Gamblers again? Battlehawks and Gamblers again. Oh my goodness. That's wild. But I think the most intense look, here's the thing. I would like to say Storm and Defenders might be game of the week because record-wise, but I'm not gonna put them as my game of the week. It's Renegades Kings. Renegades Kings, because there are playoff spots on the line. There are playoff spots that are on the line. So I'm going to give my game of the week for Kings and the Renegades. Ooh, that's going to be fun. That is going to be so much fun. That is going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, DC and Orlando. Yeah, because right now, again, Columbus will be eliminated if they lose. Yeah, if Dallas loses, they are eliminated. Yeah, because it's against the Kings. Because Kings win, it'll be 5-4, and Dallas would be they will be 3-6. So that makes sense that they will be eliminated. Because I don't. Again, next week, because the Dallas Renegades, that really shocked. Because if they lose to the Kings next week, like it's going to be, oh brother, hold on. When is that matchup? Hold on. When is that matchup? Let me check. It's a Sunday. Oh, Sunday. It's a Sunday game on Fox. Stallions Aviators on Saturday. Battlehawks Gamblers on ESPN2. And Dallas does not. Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, Dallas does not have tiebreaker with Birmingham and Louisville. Yeah, because as of right now, the Kings beat the bejeez out of Dallas, and the Stallions won in overtime against Dallas. So, because right now the cards for the Renegades are not good. It is definitely not good. Definitely not good. So that is definitely a bit of an issue for Dallas. They really got to rely on not only winning out, but they also have to let the Stallions lose, because Stallions play Aviators next week. Well, they got to lose today to Aviators next week, and then they have the Gamblers in week 10. So they have to fully rely on the Stallions. Dallas completely lose their destiny. They lost control of their destiny. So I don't know what could be next. And also, ever since Dorian Thompson-Robinson came back, was traded to the Stallions from the Orlando Storm, like the Stallions have become a lot more. They become a lot more consistent in terms of offense. I think offense was a lot more consistent than compared to Matt Corral. Not sure. 84 degrees in Birmingham. That is definitely a little bit on the hot side. Definitely a little bit hot on the outside. But we are about to get ourselves underway. Aviators will get the ball. We have officially kicked off in a sunny day and in Birmingham. Return will be taken to the 23, to a 22-yard line. Jalen McClendon. I mean, Columbus, I don't know what to think of Columbus. Like, what do you believe went wrong with Columbus this season? I mean, I think there's just a lot of inconsistencies. I feel like there's a lot of inconsistency. And also, I was thinking because there's a lot of inconsistencies with this team. They do have a nice run game, which I feel like that's probably something that they should use. McClendon takes the snap. He's going to dump this off to Lovett, and John Lovett spins away of a tackle, and he is going to get stopped at around the 28-yard line. So you looked at a gain of 6 right there. Whew. Going a little bit of spread option. Got 3 receivers on the bottom. Tuatawa will take the screen, and he gets a gain of 2. 3rd and 2 for Columbus. 3rd and 2 for Columbus. Todd Haley, like they show a lot of hype around Todd Haley, and I mean, it's nice that he's around for spring football. I mean, he was a head coach of the Tampa Bay Bandits and the Showboats at the USFL, but like there wasn't really a lot of things to go with her. And Zaquandre White, and he's going to get tackled. That's a loss of about 3 or 4. Ty Crowder with the tackle, and that's going to force a 3 and out for the Aviators. All right, 4th down. So 4th down and 5. Of course, they were punting away. Oh, that looked like running the kicker. Yeah, that's a penalty. That looked like running the kicker or roughing the kicker. But that's a flag. That's going to be on. That's definitely going to be on Birmingham for sure. Question was it the kicking leg or was it the plant leg? That's a bigger question. Let's take a look. It looks like that's the plant leg. That's roughing the kicker. That's on Davis. The penalty's on Davis. That's on Tyler Davis. That's roughing the kicker. All right, man. You just got flat. You're gonna get flagged for roughing the kicker. You can't do that. That's a 15-yard penalty. Definitely a 15-yard penalty for that case. 1st and 10. Handing off to White. White looking for blocks. White's going to get tackled for a loss of 1 on the play. Stallions still relying on the bend but don't break kind of defense. The biggest culprit in that game was because it's mainly the offense when Matt Corral. Even though DTR made his first start against the Aviators, he still did a really good job just maintaining the offense. And it caused them going on a 2-game win streak because with the win, they'll be 4-4, tied with the Kings. 2nd down 11. Gonna hand us off to Tua Tawa. Tawa only with a gain of 1, so you're back at 3rd and you're back on 3rd and 10. And there's Stephon Gilmore's brother. Glendon only 2 for 2 for 9 yards. Third down to 10. McClendon throwing to the middle, and he will only get to the 45, so that's only a gain of 3. There's only a gain of 3. There's a little bit of commotion there. So even though they only got a first down via penalty, Columbus could not move the ball any further. Catch was made by Antoine Wells, but Columbus just could not advance the ball any down further. So now they'll punt again. Now, see if you could try not to rough the punter again. Can we do that? Can we do that for Birmingham? So like a delay a game, but okay. Punt is away, waiting for a fair catch, and he will be fair caught at the 11-yard line. DTR will be walking on his way to the field as the Stallions will get their first possession of the game with 10:22 remaining in the first. Here, let me change my camera angle to the top. There we go. That's a lot better now. Yeah, I could just talk about it right now. No, what the heck is going on with Dallas? I've never seen it's not the collapse is not official yet, but if they lose to the Kings next week, now we can officially say like they just had a collapse. Because usually when you see a team that is 3-0, like when we've been seeing in the World Cup of the UFL, then they pretty much made it to the playoffs. I mean, look at 2024 with the Birmingham Stallions. They went 3-0 and they made it. Last year, the DC Defenders went 3-0 and they made it. And right here, we got 2 teams. We have the Storm and we have the Renegades. Right now, the Storm had clinched their way into the playoffs, but the Renegades, on the other hand, it's like, oh, okay, you went 3-0, then you're going to decide to lose 5 in a row. And they had a 10-0 lead against Orlando last on Friday night. So what gives? So like, what happened then? What was the difference? Like, what happened? Did the other teams caught on? Did the other teams caught on with what Dallas was running? Did Rick Neuheisel decided to not what you call it? Did they decided to not adapt to the plays? Like what happened? Like it was so unlikely to see a collapse from happening. And the fact that it's the Renegades and they already have their own, and they've been having their share of collapses for the time being. So again, what gives? What was the difference? Because right now it's not looking pretty. Going to hand this one off for about several yards. That's going to be Davis Price with the carry. Terry and Davis Price. Alrighty. Darian Davis Price. Second down 5. Jordan Thomas going in motion. DTR looking back. DTR is going to go ahead and scramble. He's going to run in, and he will get the first down. He will step out of bounds at the 24-yard line. That is a gain of 7 for Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Utilizing his legs, managed to get out of the situation, and will get the first down against Columbus. See, that's another thing that Matt Corral couldn't do. Like, he's more of a pocket passer, and then he just could not use his mobility to escape. That was something that is missed dearly from Birmingham. First down and 10. Davis Price with the carry. Gets a tug on the shirt. Price is still trying to bulldoze his way. He gets about a gain of 5. Will get to the 29-yard line for the Stallions. Try to get his teammate up and about. It's second down and 4. Yeah, so it's weird because I think Stallions only won the first game, but then they lost 4 in a row, and then they won 2 in a row. And then they have two of the worst teams remaining on the schedule. Today and next week against Columbus, and then the week 10 is Houston. Throw again, incomplete. That looked like it was covered too. I don't know why he was throwing that. It did not look like he was open. Excuse me. It was tipped. It looked like it was tipped. It looked like it was tipped by Ron Stone Jr., who's having himself a nice season so far. Justin Ross out on the outside. DTR, what a catch! It looks like that was Dywood Davis with the catch. It was a nice contested catch. First down for Birmingham. Kind of make number 32 try to figure out, oh crap, where am I supposed to go? That was Kendrick Whitehead trying to figure out where should I go, because he was in the middle of that traffic, and he had to quick think about who do you need to cover. First and 10 at the 43 with 7.5 minutes left. Carry up to the middle. Looks like that is about a 3.5-yard gain. And that is a carry by Snoop Connor, the other running back. And another player you got to keep an eye out is Jaden Mickens, who is a reliable receiver, part of the dream team that was the DC Defenders in the UFL Championship game, and signed his way with the Stallions. He had a nice couple good games, but try to figure out if they can get to the red zone. DTR going a little deep left side, and that is incomplete. And speaking of Mickens, he was the receiver that was covered by Kendrick Whitehead. So now the Stallions looking at 3rd and 7. So thankfully they have yet to cross the 50-yard line, so they still have an option to punt. But they do cross the 50. They will need to punt no matter what. And it is a battle of rookie head coaches between Ted Ginn Jr. and AJ McCarron. So we will figure out who's going to be the better head coach then. Third down 7, DTR. Pressure incoming. DTR trying to heave it deep. And that is intercepted by Columbus. And that's going to be Aviators' ball. It was intercepted by number 21, DJ Miller. DTR was getting pressure, and he just arm punt that thing deep. Might as well do that, but what a play by DJ Miller. And it's a one-handed snag, too, bringing it against his body. First turnover of the game will belong to a DTR interception to DJ Miller. And Columbus, what can they do with this turnover? Well, hang on. There is a foul on the play. So we're going to hold your horses right here. Hold your horses. Let's hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. Is it dead ball? Or was it before the interception? So what do we got? What in the world happened? Oh, they're saying, is there a hold? There was defensive holding on Columbus? Was there saying that there was... Oh. Oh, wow. They called holding on the Columbus. Because it's still Stallion ball. It looks like they caught 41 holding, and Ted Ginn Jr. has thrown a challenge. He's throwing a super challenge trying to claim that there was no holding during the interception. There is some weird events. So they're calling holding on 41. What do we think? Do we think that's an interception? He did make contact, but he never did enough that... And 41 over here, smack talking over the sidelines, over to Jaden Mickens. And the call's been reversed, so they will call that interception. They will call that, I believe, interception. Aviators ball. And Ted Ginn will win the challenge. And that pressure coming off from 45. He just shot the gap. That was Celestin Haba with that pressure. He was just unblocked and forcing DTR to make a mistake. And that's exactly what just happened. So it is indeed Aviators ball. Ted Ginn does win the challenge. Trying to run up the middle, does not get anywhere. That was John Lovett, the carrier, and he will get nothing on the run. But so he has no more challenges, which I don't know why they changed it. I thought you can have 2 challenges if you win the first one. But anyways, but you want a challenge, you got to intercept, but you want a challenge. Nope, there was no holding. But you really got to you got to get your offense going. McClendon to Lovin, and Lovin, does he get the first down? It looks like he's going to be a yard short. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Aviators. That is a 9-yard gain for Lovett. They're doing a lot of short passes, screen passes. They're doing a lot of those. They're doing a lot of those recently. I don't know what to think of it. I do not know what to think of it so far. 3rd down and 1. What do you do? All bunched up. Looks like 2 tight ends. Play action. Throwing over in the middle, and that is open. That's offensive lineman with the catch. That is an old lineman getting the catch. Oh my goodness. That is guard Chris Glaser with the play. Oh my goodness. The trickery using the old lineman. It looks like Columbus really do not want to be eliminated from playoff contention today. Columbus out there with trickery at the 45-yard line. Play action. And here comes Tawa. Tawa will run past the 50, past the 45. He'll get tackled at the 40. They're in plus territory, so they will no longer have the option to punt. But, man, the catch and run from Chris Glaser, the guard. It looks like he's from Honolulu, Hawaii, with the beautiful catch and run, the right guard. Trickery stuff coming in from Todd Haley on the offense. McLendon tries to escape, and he will run, and he will get down at the 33. He does get about a gain of 6 on the play, so there will be 2nd down and 4. It will be 2nd down and 4 for the Aviators. Kevin Scherer. Because I know it was like Corey Chamberlain that was the most previous defensive coordinator. And looks like we have an injured Stallion on the field. That's number 91. That is number 91 on the – that is Ricky Correa. That is down on the field. They have taken a step aside for their commercial break. But, man, so far, Ted Ginn is working his way to make sure – he is working his way to make sure that he is making the turnover worth it. He's making the turnover worth it. When I move, you move. Let's see. That's crazy that Dallas does not have any tiebreakers with Birmingham and Louisville. They completely just ruined it. So they completely ruined. I don't know how they even got into a 5-game losing streak anyways. Nothing like drinking high quality H2O. Dun 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 dun. Braves gonna get themselves a win. They play in a few minutes against Boston. So all right, 2nd down and 4. We have about 3:20 remaining. There was an injury timeout to one of the defensive linemen for the Stallions. We're at the 33-yard line in Birmingham territory. And this is a quarterback keeper, and this is a different quarterback. Number 2, he gets the 1st down, and he will get down around the 25-yard line. That is Morton. This is Jalen Morton, one of the backups in there with a QB run design, and he is staying out onto the field. McClendon's still on the bench. Looks like Morton is coming in for another play. First down to 10 at the 26-yard line. And it looks like he's going to run it again as well. This time only gets a gain of 4. So 4-yard gain, not too bad. You're right outside the red zone. And it looks like he's going to tag himself back out. And McClendon is going to be taking over again as quarterback. With 2nd down and 6. Oh, yeah, I'm wearing a Pac-Man shirt, right? I need to wear this. There we go. That's more like it. Hand out to Tawa. Tawa, one of the more great running backs of last year, having an underwhelming season with the Aviators, 2 yards away from a first down. So what will Todd Haley do on 3rd down and 2? Less than 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Less than 2 minutes left of the first quarter. The game's is going by relatively fast. I shall say. Going fast, I shall say. 3rd and 2 at the 18. They need to get to the 16-yard line. Tay Martin going in motion. Trying to throw it, and that is going to be intercepted. This is Stephen Gilmore with the interception. They try to do a screen, but Stephen Gilmore has read that like a book. And now Columbus have left the interception after challenging it. They will come away empty-handed. It looks like he was getting pressured right off the bat. It was 92, Jaden Peavy with the pressure, and that's how the interception happened. Both quarterbacks today in the first quarter were pressured, and as a result, they have thrown an interception. The defense has been becoming a highlight for both sides of the ball so far. But at the same time, there are no scores. There have been no scores. So, better question is who's going to make more crucial plays on the offense? Because like I said again, this is going to come up plenty of times throughout and this is going to come up plenty of times. Who is going to win and survive for a playoff spot? If Columbus lose, they will be eliminated from playoff contention. The Stallions will still be alive for playoff contention if they lose, but being 3-5, while the Kings are going to be the only 4-4 team if the Stallions do win, this is going to be you're leaving the Kings a lot of room to try to clinch the final spot at the playoffs. So this game is must win on both sides. It is a must win. So they really, really got to figure this out. Because the only team that clinched a playoff spot was the Storm. The Storm did indeed clinch a playoff spot. Right now, next week, we are still looking for the Battlehawks and the Defenders trying to win and clinch their tickets to the playoffs. So, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And that was it was just a pressure coming off. Gilmore read that. He read that. And even Tay Martin was trying to tackle him and trying to make him drop the ball. And it was just no good. Still, brilliant play from Stephen Gilmore. First down and 10 at their own 25 for Birmingham. Mickens going in motion, going to hand this off to Price. Price gets a gain of 2 on the run. just a tragic ending on the drive. You resumed like you reversed a holding call. You drove your way down the field. You took your time, and then you just get intercepted on 3rd and 2, and you just read the screens. That's why you see Columbus. You know what Birmingham did? They did a thing called adjustments. In DTR, throwing it, and that's incomplete, throwing it to nobody. It looks like the nearest receiver in that case. Hold on. It looks like the nearest receiver in that case was Jabray Barber. Third and 8. Looks like we're probably going to get one more play before we have reached to the end of the first quarter. Both teams try to drive down the field, but both of them ended up in turnovers. So this is becoming a defensive-heavy battle between the Aviators and Stallions. 3rd down and 8. DTR, pressure's coming in hot, and the ball is out. The ball is out. It looks like the Stallions have recovered it. Looks like it was Ron Stone that was the one that was nearest to the ball. Noah Henderson, the tackle, was there with the ball. There's somebody strip sack it. Pressure was coming in hot for Columbus. And it looks like 45. It looks like that is Celestin Haba with the strip sack. Yes, it is. This was the same guy who pressured DTR into throwing an interception by DJ Miller. So we have reached to the end of the first quarter. Tie game 0-0. What's up, Jenna? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. It's 12:38. It's 12:38 in Birmingham. It's 1:38 in the East Coast. Now you would say that to people in the Mountain Time or Pacific, then maybe. More like good afternoon over here, not morning. But the pressure, I definitely agree, Jenna. The pressure coming in from Columbus, that was really good. 2 great plays by pressure, both by Celestin Haba, number 45. He's becoming a big peacemaker so far for today's game. Pressuring DTR into the interception, and he fumbled. And now Stallions had to punt pretty much from their own end zone. Got home a little bit from overnight shifts. Southern Cal. Oh, then that makes sense. What is happening with your Renegades, anyways? Oh my gosh! Like, look. I've seen. Okay, hold on. I've seen midseason collapses, right? Look at last year. Look at last year in the NFL. We had the Indianapolis Colts. We had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. We had 2023 Jacksonville Jaguars. But never in my life, never in anybody's life that is a fan of the UFL would think, oh, midseason collapse can't happen in the UFL. It's only 10 weeks. Dallas/Arlington is pretty much saying, can you hold my beer? Not only they choke games, but somehow they can say, hey, Bob Stoops wasn't a problem with choking games, right? What do we get? A veteran coach like Stoops, and let's choke a whole season away. They're doing a league a favor. That's the thing. Like, you were 3-0. I looked at you guys as the best team in week 1. It was between you and the Storm. Right now, the Storm is running away as the best team right now. What is happening? Like, is Neuheisel not adapting? Is he not doing adjustments? Like, what is he doing? Whoop, Fumbaruski. That's a Fumbaruski right there. Ron Stone was close to get there. Henderson, good job. Just fall onto the ball. Don't even try to pick it up. Yeah, there would have been 2 teams running away with it and only 2 spots available. Well, yeah. DC freaking lost. Don't know how that happened. I don't know how he got swept by the Kings. And the Battlehawks somehow lost to the Gamblers. Welcome to football, I guess. Return by Wells from the 36, gets past the 50, and he will go out of bounds at the Stallions 45-yard line. And now there's 3 spots available. And also, as Sir Guy says, we have a game between the Kings and the Renegades next week on Sunday. Renegades lose, they're out. They are out. And if you're a Stallions fan, like, you got to hope that the Kings lose that game. But if you're a Kings fan, you better hope the Stallions lose that game, because if the Stallions win, they will overshoot the Kings for the 4th spot because of that tiebreaker back in week 1. Anyways, Aviators ball at the 45. It looks like they brought in some tight ends onto the field. Here's White, and White passed the 40, and he would get to the 39. Ball pops out, but it looks like he was down before the ball ever popped out. Tizzino was hoping to recover it for the Stallions, but it's not meant to be. So right now, the Storm is sitting pretty. If you're a Storm fan, you can just chill and just watch the carnage. You just watch the carnage. Yeah, see, there's the knee down right there, right before the ball pops out, and he is being touched while on the ground. So good call by the officials. 2nd down and 1. Somebody's got to score. Renegades should win. A Texas team should be present in the playoffs. Why should it be the Gamblers and not you guys? Oh, by that time, the ball looks like it did popped out. It looked like the ball did popped out. It's 1st down, technically. But why they recovered it? It looked like the ball did popped out. Yeah, he fumbled, and he's lucky that he was quick with the reaction to recover it. But I honestly think DC misses a championship. I mean, you're not wrong with that argument. DC's been playing sloppy. I don't know if it's against the Kings specifically, but I don't know. But we finish off the week against the Storm, so it's going to be tough. But at the same time, the Storm will probably rest some of their players because you clinch a playoff spot. So, but if you clinch, I feel like if you clinch the top 2 seed, you're going to host a game. So, 2nd down and 11. Laws of 1. We don't know. Against the Battlehawks, it could go any other way. If it's the Kings, it might as well take the loss there. But the Storm, don't know. Especially now, we don't have a full arsenal. I think the big mix-up in the standings the last couple of weeks, DC or Battlehawks mix the playoffs. They only have an opportunity of winning, and they win and they're in, right? Because here's the problem, right? The only way that can happen is if the Stallions win out and the Kings win out, and DC lose out, Battlehawks lose out. That's the only way that's gonna happen. Because if you think about it, DC lose out, they're 5-5. Stallions will be 6-4, and the Kings will be 6-4, and the Battlehawks will be 5-5. So that's the only way that can happen. Beck Bull, Storm Battlehawks. That's not a bad matchup. Catch by Wells, and Wells does get the 1st down and gets to the 22-yard line as he goes out of bounds on the right. 1st down for Columbus. They are right outside the red zone. But the last time they were in the red zone, they did throw an interception. My playoff prediction was Storm, Battlehawks, Renegades, and Defenders. Not in any particular order, but those were the playoff teams that I had. And it felt like my prediction was supposed to be right, and then the freaking Renegades is happening. First down at 10. Empty backfield. McClendon throws it to the middle. That is incomplete. It looks like he was trying to throw that to, looks like Gunnar Oaks, number 84. I see St. Louis. I see DC St. Louis because Stallions and Renegades went on losing streaks. Yeah, they went on losing streak because I know the battle because hold on. Because hold on, who does Battlehawks have week 10? Because DC play Storm, Stallions play Gamblers, Kings play Aviators. So that means Battlehawks play Kings. Looks like that's a holding call right there. So that's going to be a penalty over Aviators. And I forgot to change the quarter number. Renegades Battlehawks. There we go. Thank you. Renegades Battlehawks. Thank you. Renegades and Battlehawks week 10. Yeah, Renegades won that one. Yeah, and that's another thing, because tiebreaker, because here's the thing, Battlehawks lose out and Renegades win out, then what that means is the Renegades would have tiebreaker over Battlehawks, so that's another possibility. Yeah, back in week 2 for Tuesday night game for some reason. What's up, Red Flag? Your team has clinched the playoffs. How do you feel being the only team that has clinched the playoffs so far? Do you feel such joy? Do you feel do you feel that pressure has been lifted off your shoulders? Glad. Be happy, man. Be happy to be the first team to clinch the playoffs. I had a feeling Orlando will clinch. McClendon, pressure coming in. He's gonna get dropped. He has been dropped by Isaiah Coe. Yeah, absolutely. Life is good. I bet life is good. You have to face my team too. You had to end the season with my team twice in a row. And oh my goodness. Got swept by the Kings. We might get swept by you guys. I don't know what in the world is gonna happen. It's a lot of tiebreaker action in week 10 with teams winning out and losing out. Yeah. Is there a flag or is they going to call a timeout? Looks like delay a game. And they're going to be way back there. So they might rely on a field goal. Looks like that one's a delay a game for Columbus. Yeah, we either split the Storm or sweeping you guys. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. We either going to be split. I just want the Defenders to win one damn game. That's all I want. I want the Defenders to win one game so we can relieve that pressure. So we can just say, okay, we're in the playoffs. Well, that's all I want. That's all I want, man. That's all I need. 3rd and 23. McClendon dumps it off to White. White will get a gain about 5. And then looks like Columbus might settle in for a long-range field goal. He's going to settle for a field goal, but not enough for a 4-pointer. But we'll rely. I can't read the last name of his jersey. We lost St. Louis somehow at home. That I don't get. It happened. St. Louis has a great defense. Jonah Damas, 48 yards. That kick is up, and it looks like that kick is good. Aviators will take a 3-0 lead. They will strike first. Well, for St. Louis, right? That's before Perez was a starter. Here's the thing. Your defense is good, but I felt like the Battlehawks said, nah, man. Our defense, we just played better. Our defense is better than your defense. Watch me. So that's pretty much what the Battlehawks did. Now they have Luis Perez, and they completely took care of business against the Aviators, but for some reason he couldn't take care of the Gamblers, and the Gamblers is known for having a great defense. Malik Fisher had himself a really nice game. He had himself a really nice game, and it sucks that he's on the Gamblers and not the Defenders. We still have better jerseys. Nah, I still think the I think the I think Gamblers and Aviators had better jerseys. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, I'll admit the orange ones do look good. I do like the orange ones, but I still believe that the Gamblers and the Aviators are better. I really do still like those two uniforms. So yeah, I see Tom take Reams lose to bottom teams. Like, yeah, like again, like DC, like the Defenders losing to the Kings not once but twice. That was unbelievable. And then the Battlehawks losing to the Gamblers. That was also unbelievable. I mean, and of course, like you're going back to week 2, like when you saw the Gamblers beating the Stallions, like the whole UFL world was in shock. We were like, what the world? How did the Stallions lose to the Gamblers? Like that was one of the more shocking upsets. Like you talk about big upsets. The biggest upsets this season. Of course, that week 2 game, the Kings sweeping the Defenders and the Gamblers beating the Battlehawks. And they play each other again next week. Gamblers and Battlehawks play each other again next week. So if it happens again, the internet's going to be freaking the heck out. Yeah, Gamblers home jerseys. Yeah, they're the best ones. Like I love how much detail they went into for those jerseys. But yeah, get yourselves in the shade. It looks like it's a hot day in Birmingham. It's 84 degrees down in Birmingham. But yeah, like lately, week 8 has been fun. Like week 8 has been upsets and it's been upsets. The next upset will be Renegades beating the Storm. How did that happen? Will be the talk. Because Renegades play Kings and they play the Battlehawks next. Renegades beating the Storm. Renegades had the lead, and then they choked it. Kickoff underway for Birmingham. Going to take it from the end zone. That's kind of a risky maneuver, and didn't even make it to the 20. He barely passed the 15. That was Snoop Connor. What in the world, man? What the heck? No need to worry about that, thank God. I feel like, I mean, if no matter if you win or lose, you're like, okay, that's fine. I worry more about the playoffs right now. Like you worry about the playoffs at the moment. I mean, the chaos of Renegades Storm. I mean that's true. Like that will be upset, but right now, like we don't know who's going to be the final game. Because right now, the final spot, it could be Renegades, it could be Stallions, it could be the Kings. It's one of those 3 teams. Or it could be Houston, maybe. And there's a big catch and run from Mickens. Mickens past the 35, gets tackled at the 40. That's a big catch and run for Mickens. That's about a gain, I believe, of 24, I believe. That was a gain of 24 from Mickens. Oh, my goodness. Jaden Mickens, like I said, part of the UFL championship squad. And of course, what's going to happen with Jordan Tayamo? He got injured yesterday, and we don't know what's the seriousness of that injury could be. Something to do with his leg or hip injury. Daiwood Davis with the catch, and he gets tackled at the 11. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and 4, but there is a penalty flag on the field, but that's back in the secondary. It looks like they're going to catch. They caught him with the face mask. Whoops. Caught him with a face mask. That ain't good, Chief. That ain't good, Chief. DC QB injuries may continue to lose. Probably. Again, we need to win one game, but I feel like we might miss the playoffs because with the given situations. Handing it DTR, keeping it, but he'll get a tackle with a gain of 2. You see 3 interceptions for the Kings last week. That was, oh man. Got to figure out the quarterback situation. It's time. Will Jordan be healthy enough? Is Jordan going to be healthy enough? That's a bigger question. We just don't know. We just don't know for sure. We just don't know for sure. DTR dropping back. He's going wide open. That is it looks like that's Dywood Davis again. Now they're in the red zone. He was just there wide open on the corner. Who the heck was he covering? Yeah, he was just open. Pressure was kind of there, but he still managed to connect to Davis. I predict Storm winning all. I mean, that's not. I mean, it's not like not out of the blue proportion, but they're the first team to clinch, so it makes sense that they could beat the favorite, especially with Anthony Beck under the belt. Now the bigger question now becomes: can he win a playoff game? He was there in the playoffs twice, but lost to the Brahmas and lost to the Defenders. Because again, I compared Anthony Beck to Marvin Lewis. Great regular season, great performances in the regular season, but can you win a playoff game? That's something that Beck needs to prove, that he can win a playoff game and win a title. Can he do that? DTR, pressure. It looks like there's a flag on the field. It looks like it could be defensive holding on to Columbus. Called by Davis Price, 6:12 remaining. Yep. Defensive holding on to Columbus. Yeah, he's holding him along this. He's holding his waist. 24 is holding his waist like it's his prom date. It's Elijah Blades. You can't be holding him like he's a prom date. First down 10, right at the 13. We're at the 12, so they're knocking on the doorstep. There's a loss of 1 to Davis Price. And it looks like we might have an injured Stallion on the field. He's yet to get up. It feels so bad for the Bengals that year. Carson Palmer got injured versus the Steelers in the playoffs. Was that was God, what year? No, I was thinking of the Browns. What year was that? Because there's a lot of Bengals. I feel like the more infamous playoff loss was that game where Vontaze Burfict made that hit. And man, he's my least favorite player of all time. Who? Austin Riley just got a 3-run homer. Let's freaking go, Austin. What year was that in the playoffs? Yeah, because I keep forgetting Carson Palmer was with the Bengals. He was with the Bengals. Because I mean, there are only 2 head coaches in NFL. There are only 2 head coaches in NFL history that had 100+ wins but no playoff wins. Marvin Lewis and Jim Mora. Those are the only 2. Those are the only 2. Yeah, 3 game. Yeah, 4-point field goal. Yeah, Tanner Brown of the Kings got a 4-point field goal. 2006 wild card. Thank you. 2006. I wasn't even alive. I wasn't even alive. Oh my goodness, looking back at like the mid 2010s now, I'm like, oh my gosh, where the heck, where did all this go? In 2015, I mean, the playoffs I remember a lot. The NFL playoffs I remember like fondly was 2017, 2019, and 2021. A lot more with 2017 and 2019. I love it when the playoffs gets like I love it when the playoffs get so chaotic and you're like you don't even know like who to root for. 3rd and 13 for Birmingham. At the 15, they need to head to the 2-yard line. What can the Stallions cook here? Pre-COVID seemed a long time ago in the galaxy far, far away. My gosh, 6 years ago. Like, what the heck were we all even doing? Ball start for the Stallions. You see, where was it? Yep, the left guard. The left guard was called. Oopsies. 3rd and 18, now at the 20. 3rd down and 18. Looks like pressure could be coming in. Only 4-man rush. Here's a run, but only get a gain of 2. So 4th and 16. So they're going to bring in the field goal unit. It's Anders Carlson, the kicker. Oh, yeah, the hantavirus. People should have stayed on the boat. We do. Yeah, nobody wants another COVID. Nobody wants it. Who's it? Anders Carlson. This is 36 yards off the right hash. This is to tie the game. Kick is up. And he missed it. He went too much left. Kick is no good. Anders Carlson went wide left on the 36-yard field goal. Aviators still hangs on with the lead. Oh, man. The Stallions and their kicking woes continues. Oh, sheer goodness. Oh, my goodness. How many kickers do the Stallions need to get? They need to bring back Brandon Aubrey. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Knicks go to the finals. I mean, because there's a game 7 between the Pistons and the Cavs, right? It's game 7. Sounds like the Pistons want to keep on repeating history, huh? They went on to game 7 against the Magic. Aubrey Butters. Oh yeah, oh my goodness, yeah, the Sabres. Feel great. You regardless how game 7 goes, you're gonna feel great as a Sabres fan. Since it's been 14 years, it's been about 14, 15 years since you guys made the playoffs. You won your playoff series for the first time. You won your playoff series for the first time since 2007 against Boston, and then right now you're up against Montreal. You've got to feel really good about yourself. Like you would definitely feel good. Let's see here. The game is either going to be a final score or a 2019 or a shutout. Yeah, right now, playoff picture entry today. So it would have been Storm versus Kings. And it would have been Battlehawks as defenders. Oh my gosh. And then everybody else is in the hunt. But again, look at the bottom line, guys. If Columbus loses, they will be eliminated from playoff contention. Agree. It's a wonderful time to be a Sabres fan. Of course. Gosh, when will the Jets make it to the playoffs? When will they make it? Verse in 10. Handing off to Tawa. Tawa up the middle. He is going to get about a gain of 2 or 3. Right at the 29-yard line. We'll see. Columbus got the ball first, so that means the Stallions will get the ball in the second half. Oh, yeah, that's a player that we haven't really seen a lot of action today. That is Deion Kane. We really haven't seen a lot of action. Orlando in 2. I feel like if you get the top 2 seed, you get a playoff. You're host a playoff game. McLendon dumps it off to Lovett, and Lovett tried to use the speed, but he's about to be a yard short. And it looks like we got a little bit of shuffling coming off here. A helmet being ripped off. There's a flag on the play. This might be a dead ball penalty. And one of the players is down on the field and hurt. That is fair. I think that is Chuck Ferrum. One of the more... I think that is Chuck Ferrum. Not Ferrum. Correction. That is Matt Faranock. But let's see what the penalty could be. So it's a dead ball. It's a dead ball foul. So it won't affect the play. Yeah, that's one thing that's missing too. Purple. Get a purple. Wear blacks for like. Wear the black uniforms as an alternate. Number 64. Oh, that is Glazer. That's Chris Glazer. Looks like he was questionable coming into today. And then he was down on the ground. He almost got a first down. Oh, like he just got rolled up. He got rolled up on his left leg. I like the all black though, but I feel like if you add more color to it, it would be good. But anyways, with 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining, Columbus facing a crucial 3rd and 1 situation to try to keep the drive alive. So simple, that is great. Hey, simple yet effective, right? Sometimes that's a way to go. Let's see, 3rd down and 11. What do you do to Ottawa? You're passing on 3rd and 1. I don't like that. Catch made by Wells. Wells does get the first down. He'll get tackled at the 41-yard line. So there is your first down. Now you need to score and don't leave too much time for the Stallions. Have the Stallions worn their tan jerseys yet? No. I do not believe they have worn their tan jerseys yet. Which, to be honest, I prefer them not wearing the tan jerseys. Good grief, that thing is ugly. It is fugly. That's all I got to say. It's fugly. So we're right. Looks like we might reach the 2-minute warning. 3, 2, 1. 2-minute warning. Yeah, we've reached 2-minute warning at the 41-yard line. So they're going to take a commercial break. Fire pit material. That's fire pit material. Gosh, remember the color rush uniforms, the Jaguars and the between the Jaguars and the Broncos? Oh my gosh, those were ugly. What is this? Adrian Ely couldn't fit into a jersey. He's wearing number 73 without a nameplate. Oh my gosh. That's interesting. Say to the Stallions saying, one of the offensive tackles, Adrian Ely, couldn't fit into his jersey. So he's wearing 73 instead without a nameplate. Which Broncos one? It's an all orange one. It's an all orange one. Just look up Broncos color rush, and I would think like it'll pop. It will pop up. Color rush uniforms. Talk about the ones in 2015. Just wasn't a fan. I mean, they changed the throwback uniforms. It was more like it had a dark blue helmet. I wasn't a fan of that color. But honestly, I liked how they changed it to what it is today. Feel like that needed to change. Yeah, there was one that was like the dark blue like helmet. But if you're a throwback, it has to be the more vibrant blue. It had to be more like a vibrant blue. Anyways, first down to 10. Wide receiver, we haven't really seen a lot that could be a good potential target is Tay Martin, number 81. Play action coming in. Here comes the pressure, and he's going to get drilled. He gets absolutely gobsmacked. That is Kobe Jones with that sack. I think that's the second sack for McClendon. Just breeding off the edge. The tight end dealing with one of the defensive backs. Yeah, I'm going to Google. Yeah, just look up Broncos color rush. Broncos color rush. Second down and 10. That's a 10-yard sack. Can't have that. McClendon throwing a short, incomplete. What are you doing? It sounds going to get the ball back, and they're going to have 3 timeouts, and they might get a score. Let's see. I didn't hate the. Yeah, the Jaguars was the Jaguars are just the worst. White with the run, but only gets to the 36, so there's going to be 4th and 16. But Stallions are going to call their timeout. I think that's what they did. I think the Stallions called their timeout because they have 1:01 remaining. Yeah. 1 timeout. First timeout taken by Birmingham. So take a guess. Say what do you think the 3 comparisons are? Oh, the comparisons. Oh my gosh. Fire fit material. They look like puke color. What else? It looks like freaking. It looks like mustard, not the vibrant mustard, but it's like just mustard. They look like mustard. 4th and 15. You got the mustard one, right? Punt is away. And ooh, you're lucky you caught that. You got lucky he caught that. You got caught that inside the 10. Yeah, the last one, yes, that's definitely what it looks like. All right, DTR has 1:03 to try to get a score, a field goal, or a touchdown. You're gonna rely on Anders Carlson for a 4-point field goal? Nope, I wouldn't. I sure as hell wouldn't. Like you gotta not only gotta have an accurate kicker, but you also gotta have a kicker that can kick the distance. I mean, that's what you need. That's what you need on both sides. Oh, I completely misspelled Aviators the entire time. What in the heck is wrong with me? Oops. It was Aviators, not it was Aviators, not Aviators. I'm such an idiot. Oh, I am so bad. Stallions have neither, apparently. The white ones do look nice, and the red ones do look okay. Yeah, because right now the only UFL kickers that made a 4-pointer, Matt McCrane and Tanner Brown. Hoyland did try to make it, but that didn't happen. They tried to make it against the Storm, I believe, but rip. Just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. Also, apparently, the Stallions have fans intent. They do. Again, it's been a problem. It's been a problem for the UFL for a while. It's just the attendance problems. The only fan base I can say that is not having more of an attendance problem is the Kings. Yes, they have the smallest stadium, but they're at least getting 10,000 people every time. They have 10,000 people every time. So, even though they play is the only actual football stadium. Yeah, but also at the same time, again, you're looking at a big stadium. Oh, how hot is this turf? 100 and around the late 120s. Good God. DTR throwing off his back foot, throws it to Thomas, gets no gain out of it. Orlando not really struggling in attendance, but honestly, I was expecting better. But if I'm being honest, I was expecting better than numbers. The Kings are doing a great job at attendance. I mean, they sold out their first game, and then they've been consistent in the 10,000s ever since. 2nd and 9, Snoop Connor. Snoop Connor will only get a gain of 3 or a gain of 4, and looks like we're about to head. Is timeout being called right now, or what? Columbus call a timeout? They want them to punt. They really want to get something out of it? They did. Why would you call timeout? Just go to the half. What game are you playing? What other sports are happening in Louisville? I mean, touche. I mean, but you also got any events that are happening in Louisville. But that's also why they have that as a market, because you want people that you want the locals to watch professional football. That's why they have Columbus, because there's no professional football team there. Same with Birmingham. Same with St. Louis. Same with Orlando. Like they want the market to be spread out. It's not just the NFL markets. They're just gonna run it. They're gonna call a timeout again. I don't know what are you. I don't understand what is Ted Ginn doing. What is Ted Ginn doing? What is he doing? Count me the ways. I mean, duh. I mean that's also kind of the whole point. I mean, Chris Redmond was Louisville. Ted Ginn was Ohio State. Because again, like you're looking at college, and I was like, oh hey, why not? Let's play in those locations then. What do they got? What do they have? Orlando UCF. That's true too. But also, it's not just those It's not just that college. It's just like think about the colleges that are nearby too. Like think about the colleges in Florida, Ohio, and Kentucky. 4th and 4. Punt is away. Because they might as well just go down. 1 second remaining. But for being quite frank, that's only going to be. What was the point of that? Like, why are you calling timeouts? Like, you're just padding the game time. You're just padding. I'm not a fan of what Ted Ginn was doing. Not a fan. This has been a very defensive game. Aviators only got the field goal on the board. I kind of regret turning on this game. This is the worst than Broncos Thursday night. Colts Broncos Thursday night. I mean, you never know. You never know what the second half could. You never know what the second half can hold up. It will be Stallions ball. So, I mean, you may never know like what'll hold up. You know, you may never know what will happen. But let's see. So halftime, yeah. So wow, Columbus defense. This is our first shutout in the first half of the season. Well played. Meanwhile, let's watch some other sports. I know there's some baseball. I'm gonna check on my Atlanta Braves. How are we doing so far? For the next 12-ish minutes or so. What other games do we have on? Dun 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 dun. Mm-hmm. I had to head out, going to sleep. I got to work again this evening. Dang, no problem. Of course, enjoy your day. It's always nice to gather up the UFL fans. Yankees lead the Mets right now. Beat the Mets. Beat the Mets. Beat the Mets. Beat them down. Please beat them down. I don't care. Beat them down. Beat the loving crap out of them. Like I said, I don't care. Oh, there's some college softball. Isn't like, yeah, it's like a. And they're like, yeah, there's like tournaments going on, aren't there? Let's see. Oh, UFC softball is in the tournament. Oh, really? Hold on. Let's take a look at because I'm trying to figure out what can we do to pad in. What can I do to pad in the time? We'll see some softball, right? What do we got? What do we got going on? You got some college softball. Where is the Where's the UCF game on? That's a bigger question. Probably one of the networks. As you got here, Texas Baylor. That's one of the games. Texas right now, it looks like they just scored 4-0. I don't know. I just know they're ranked 6. Huh. Or I know Oregon lost to St. Mary. I know for a fact Oregon lost to St. Mary. So that is definitely unfortunate. Oregon, what happened? But you want to talk about that? Let's talk about how Texas Tech I don't forget who team was, Texas Tech, but they lost. But a team was up 8-0. They were up 8-0 and lost. So you want to talk about that? Talk about that. Because right there, that's freaking unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Well, I know you're a UCF fan, but you talk about Texas. But I know one of the teams involved, Texas Tech. They were up 8-0 and they lost. They were up 8-0 and lost. That's it. Like that's all I can say. That's all I can say at the moment. It was unbelievable. Yeah, but yeah, I agree. Like that is a bad choke job. I agree. That is that's definitely a bad choke job. Wow, indeed. Let's see. Because if you choke something that is really bad in the playoffs, and it's like, yeah, you might as well just don't make it to the playoffs for a while. Renegades, yeah, right now, like the Renegades, it's really not looking good. Things have not been looking good for the Renegades. Let's see. They're still dealing with that championship hangover. I'm checking the stand. I'm just checking right now. Storm's the only team that clinched the playoffs. Like, they have a point differential of 25. Like, negative 25. Like, they just keep on losing big time. Like, who starts? I mean, usually if you are a team that starts, like, here's the thing, like, if you start 3-0 in the UFL, you're usually in good shape. Like 2024 Birmingham Stallions, the 2025 DC Defenders, this year's Orlando Storm. Can't be. It looks like it sounds like it cannot always be the case for Dallas. Nothing is guaranteed in football. That's definitely one thing for sure. Nothing is ever guaranteed in football. And it's a damn shame too. A really damn shame. So again, it's more like, okay, then what more can you do? You know? So how's the WNBA looking? Oh wow, Orioles is beating the Nationals 4-1. 4-1 at the bottom of the 3. It's CJ Abrams up the bat. Looks like the Las Vegas Aces are beating the Atlanta Dream. There's a hit, but is that going to be catch? Oh, good catch from the catcher. Was it Basilo? It's a good catch from the catcher. That should trade him to Orlando. Nah, I feel like the Renegades should not have even traded. They should not trade, period. They should not traded. They should not have traded Perez. I think that is one of the bigger mistakes. Like because here's the problem. Because the fact that they traded Perez over to the Battlehawks, now they're on the point. It was like, oh crap, we have no choice but to have Austin Reed. That's the sucky part. Like, that is the worst part. Man, Chris Redmond sweeping the defenders. Yeah, but the most shocking upset is Gamblers over Battlehawks. That had my mind blown. I was like, what the heck? How is Houston beating St. Louis? How was that even possible? And then they got to the 3 and they tried to spike it, but then there wasn't enough time. They spiked it after the clock. And the clock expired. That's game. And then Perez just put the helmet with the helmet slam. No, it will be fair trade. We get Austin Reed and they get Plummer and a random play out of our choice. Like I said, in my opinion, I feel like they should not trade. It seems fair. Oh, it seems fair to me. Wink, wink. Okay. All right. All right. Seems pretty fair to me. I'm looking at the WNBA basketball. We'll see how they. I think that's the game I was looking at, the Vegas versus Atlanta. Because I know Angel Reese got traded for. I think she either got released and signed by the Dream, or she was traded to the Dream. But now, no more. We have the anticipation between Sky and the Fever, but you may never know. Well, you may never know. See, we got about several more minutes until we are back from halftime. Take about 12, 15 minutes until the game goes back on. So what other cities are going to get in a UFL team? Well, one thing that is definitely confirmed is Oklahoma City. That's been confirmed. But now what we're looking at for 2028 is who's going to be the 10th team. Do we have another confirmed city? Not at the moment. No, we do not have another confirmed city. But a lot of rumors has been spreading around. We could go back to Seattle. We can go back to Michigan. We could even go to New Orleans. We could go to San Diego, New York. Probably the one way you had to look at it is probably through TV ratings, because that's pretty much why Oklahoma City was one of them, because of the TV ratings were definitely up there. And that's the same thing why Louisville was up there, because of those ratings. I mean, San Antonio, it'll be nice to see San Antonio, but I feel like a lot of people are saying, realistically, you can have San Diego, Seattle, Michigan. Those are pretty much the two main options. But as of right now, I'm thinking. But my personal opinion, Oakland won't be bad. Oakland needs a team, because there's no team in Oakland ever. There's no team in Oakland now. No team in Oakland. Oh, those are the Vegas. Oh, those are Vegas. Like they are wearing red uniforms, but they usually wear black and white. You need this. I know you need it, man. I know you definitely need it. But that's a nice 3 for Las Vegas. But well, yeah, I'm really curious on who they're going to pick as a 10th city. All right, just in time. All right, just in time for the second half. Stallions gets the ball in the second half. And here comes the return. Oh, and he's gonna get flipped around. That is Deon Cain. Looks like he has some nice speed, but he's gonna get flipped around. Almost had it. Almost had it. I mean, New York ain't bad. You can bring back the New York Guardians. It wasn't a bad spot for at the time in the XFL in 2020, but Deon Cain getting freaking cartwheeled, getting tripped on over. DTR throwing into the middle. One-handed snag from Snoop Connor. Snoop Connor's going to get enough for the first down. Let's see here. First down at 10. Yeah, just a little tip drill from Snoop Connor. The cat things. Oh yeah, it's more like the one from Orlando is more like a cat. I mean, I get what you were going at. Anyway, second down to 10 from the 45-yard line. Only 13 rushing yards. Not really a lot of rushing games. It's just not a lot of offense from both sides. Like I said, who can make more crucial plays on the offense can win the game. Or they can make a bigger play on defense. So right now on defense, it's like neck and neck. Dorian Thompson going deep, and that is incomplete. Going for a die with Davis. Daiway Davis with the intended target. He has to do something similar to Army's logo general, so Guardians would work perfectly. True. That was Shelton with coverage. Yeah, so at least in Haba got 1 sack. DT Miller got an interception. Elijah Bates got a TFL. There you go. 3rd and 10. Play clock winding down. DTR, and he's going to get sacked. Nums. That is Jacoby Widman with the sack. Pressure coming in hot for Columbus's front 7. So far, they're keeping DTR at bay. Defense not bad. The front 7 of Columbus is not bad. It's just, okay, we did good on defense, but can we get the offense rolling? And the defense is out there for a long time. They're going to get gassed. 100%, they're going to get gassed. Oh, they almost blocked that. How did they not block that? They were like 2 to 3 players right there. Oh my goodness. And the ball is rolling to the 4. And they're trying to wave it as they try to pretend that the wind is blowing the ball, but decent punt. But how was that not blocked? How was that not blocked? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Unbelievable. Aviators ball. They're in danger of a safety. Hate to do this to you, but I gotta bounce. I'll see you later. See you later, Red Black. I hope you have yourself a great rest of your day, man. Hey, enjoy the moment as a Storm fan. Enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. This magic moment. Mid Clendon. Oh my goodness, they're saying Mid Clendon. No, my name is Mid Clendon. So right now the Aviators got the sack on DTRs. Now they got to work on the offense, but they're at the 4, so they are at risk of getting a safety here. If safety is going to be a big risk for sure. Yeah, I'm looking for MLB, dingus. Taking the other scores. Oh my goodness, 6-1 Orioles. Braves are up 5-0. And the Phillies, the Pirates scores. Boop. Rays beating the Marlins. Good Rays beat the Marlins. Yankees beat the Yankees. Please keep beating the Mets. Just keep winning. Just keep winning. Just keep winning. Winning. Just keep on winning. I mean, what's the Mets record? 1926. Okay. National is 23-23. Oh, wow. Them and the Phillies are right neck and neck. We're tied for second. Alrighty, 12:26 remaining. Columbus at the 4. They are at risk of getting scored on a safety, so they got to be very careful. They got to be very careful. Oh, Trent Richardson. Huh. Oh my goodness, Trent Richardson. The freaking running back that does not does not know how to read gaps but also Birmingham Iron legend in the AAF. Let's see, Lovett does not go anywhere. 2nd and 10. Stuck at the 4-yard line. A great in Alabama just wasn't the player that panned out with in the NFL with the Browns and I believe Colts too. So it's like a decent size. It looks decent from the camera angle that they're showing as they're talking to Richardson. It doesn't look bad. So you drop it back, McClendon, he's going to the middle. He got his man, and there's a guy, Tay Martin, his first catch of the day, and he does get the first down for Columbus. That's the receiver they've been looking for all day today. He has not shown any action until right now. So thank goodness for that. So first down and 10 for Columbus. First down and 10 for Columbus. Dropping back, McClendon pump fakes, but looks like Lovett wasn't ready for it. He pump faked and then he went to Lovett. Not a good idea to do that, but you do you. Yes, your first half leader only has 12 rushing yards and 16 catch and only 16 yards. Bruh. I know both of these teams can do better offensively. Both teams can do better offensively. 2nd and 10. They're gonna hand this one off, and looks like does not get anything. Only about a gain of 1 or 2 on the play. So you're still looking for a 3rd and long. 3rd and 9 for Columbus. At least you're not risking yourself a safety. That's the good news. You're not risking yourself a safety for sure. They're down 9 from the 15. All bunched up together on the top. Dropping back, McClendon. He's going to try to run, but he is going to get sacked. Gobbled up behind the line of scrimmage. That is Olakuno Fatakasi will get credit for the sack. And then it'll be a quick 3 and out for Columbus. Quick 3 and out for Columbus. Yeah, this is going to be a long second half, isn't it? It's going to be a long second half. 6-0 Braves. My gosh. Gonna take it, and we'll get tackled around the 43, 44-yard line. $9-10 remaining. Aviators still lead the game 3-0. All right. So now, again, if you're just tuning in, welcome to the week 8 of Aviators and Stallions. The Aviators will be eliminated from playoff contention if they do lose to the Stallions today. Right now, they are only up 3-0. If I move, you move. When I move, you move. But do you think? So, do you guys would you guys think that the Stallions would still be the worst team if it wasn't for DTR? Because now you're looking at hypothetically, like what would happen if Matt Corral was still the quarterback and they never made the trade for Dorian Thompson-Robinson? Like what would have been dead? What would have been? You know? What would have been? When I move, you move. Dang it. Now it's stuck in my head now. Now that thing is stuck in my head. Dag dabbit. Ah. DTR 7 for 12, 69 yards, nice, and 1 pick. Hasn't really been rushing a lot to get out of the pocket recently. It looks like Columbus has been doing a good job trying to contain him. Let's see, first down to 10. First down to 10. That's a low throw to Justin Ross. That's about a gain of 3. That's at least you didn't cross the 50 for the time being. Now you're looking at second down 7 at the 49-yard line. Second down 7. Got 5 wide out, so you're looking at an empty backfield for Birmingham. Makins going in motion. DTR will check that down to Ross, and Ross will get a first down to the 41-yard line in plus territory. Correction, that is Mickens, not Ross. Both of them are wearing Megan's ranked 12. Justin Roster is 13. So it's a little bit of a confusion, but that's fine. That's why I said correction. But anyways, good catch a run by Mickens, trying to get himself open and try to utilize his legs to get the yards at the catch. First down and 10 from the 41-yard line. It's like 3 wideouts. DTR throw that again, and that is to now this time that is to Justin Ross at the 30-yard line, and that's another first down for the Stallions. As of right now, the offense is clicking so far for the Stallions. They got back-to-back first downs. Aviators really try to figure out some adjustments on what can they do to stop the Stallions for getting another score. Miggins leads the league in yards in 519 so far. Entering week 8, he leads the UFL. First down and 10. Tyler Davis in motion, goes back. DTR's gonna keep it, but he's going nowhere. So you would not gain anything. Mickens will go ahead and jog on over to the sideline. So now you're looking at second and 10, 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Because right now you're in plus territory, and you don't know if Carlson can even make the field goal from here. Because that's 29 yards. You're looking at a 47-yard attempt from there. DTR will do a play action, and he's going to throw off his back foot. He's wide open. That is touchdown. Jordan Thomas, he was there just standing there wide open in the end zone. Where was the Aviator defenders? And Thompson was throwing it off his back foot, and nobody was there. Where was the coverage onto Jordan Thomas? Where was he? Where was he? You see Thomas lined up on the right side next to the right tackle. He just snuck his way. Nobody was there. Nobody was there. He was wide open. Who was supposed to follow him? Somebody had to follow him. I think it was one of these guys. He was wide open. Who was covering him? That is insane. You managed to get wide open. Extra point is up and good. Stallions will take the lead. Now Columbus off the back foot, getting pressured by Palmer. And Jordan Thomas just standing there menacingly wide open. There's a spark that the Stallions need, trying to eliminate. And it looks like the Aviators are a little bit mad on how did he get that wide open. Someone's got to look back at the tapes. Somebody had to follow. I think it was like one of the linebackers. That was supposed to cover him. I think there was Tony Fields, and then there was Michael Lawson. I think it was one of those two that was supposed to cover. Jordan Thomas. Like, he was just wide open. How did you miss that? That's unbelievable. That's crazy. That is outright crazy. Because right now, Aviators, you are in trouble. You're not scoring anything. You just allowed a big play in your lead second away. You're losing. You lose, you're out the playoffs. So there's the touchdown that everybody was needing for this game. That everybody was needing. I don't know how he got wide open. He wasn't like sprinting or anything. He was just like, okay, I'm just going to jog my way. Hey, wide open. Thanks. Like I said, he was just standing there. He was just standing there menacingly. I don't know how he got that wide open. Cat, you know how you got that wide open? Me neither. I don't know how you got that wide open. Like, that's unbelievable. And Palmer, like, and now that was not an easy throw. He was throwing off his back foot. He was getting pressured by Palmer. But good hand, but good thing he has his hands. And freaking, oh my gosh, the DTR did the crying. He was doing the crying. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, ever since he was traded to the Stallions, like, the Stallions are a much better team. I agree. I agree with the Stallions. They have become a much more they're better composed than we all thought they would be. Columbus really needs an answer. They gotta find an answer to this. Here comes the return, and he's gonna get tripped up. And it looks like we got some pushing and shoving. And these teams will face each other next week in Columbus at week 9. I think that is a Saturday game at 3 this time. So there you go. The last drive, 4 for 4, 54 yards, and a touchdown. So there you go. Now as the total, he is 11 for 16, 23 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick. McClendon is getting a little bit upset of what he's trying to figure out the play. Getting a little bit frustrated here at the 31-yard line. Heading off to Zaquandre White. The run game definitely has not been there in favor for the team so far. Give me 1 second. There we go. There we go. Whoop. Nice. And again, trying to do another one. Why are you trying to go for a run play? You go back-to-back run play with White, and then you're just not going anywhere. What, you think you're going to bang your head against a wall and you're going to expect a different outcome every time? No, absolutely not. Why do you think running up the middle is going to work with the Stallions? And you didn't get anything. And then you do it again, and then you lost yards. What do you think is going to happen, man? What do you think that's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. Yes, I am back. They're on 11. McClendon trying to go for a pass, but he's going to get freaking jumped on, and that's almost an interception. Quick 3 and out for Columbus. Oh my gosh, Columbus. Right now, they're not a good team. They are definitely not a good team. He was literally about to make it, but Fatakasi was right there. He jumped on McClendon. The pressure is there for Stallions. How's things been? Things have been, I would say there's definitely a lot of things personally that has been happening. So, and also work, but we're just living a good life. That's all we're going to do. Living a good life. Stallions with the kick return, and he's going to get down at the 25-yard line. 4:19 remaining is 7-3 Stallions still. 7-3 Stallions. When I move, you move. Each team is averaging 3.4 yards per play. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that is the most explosive pass play of the season. This is the worst season Stallions history. Well, by far, yes. But by far, yes. But at the same, by far, yes. But they can still have a chance to make it. But they still have a chance to make it to the playoffs. What they had to do was just keep winning. They had to face the Aviators today, face them next week, and the Gamblers. They just got to keep winning. And that's what the Stallions need to do. They got to keep winning and rely on the Kings and the Renegades to keep losing, and also any of the teams that are up front. But you're not wrong with having this being saying that this is the worst Stallion season. You're not wrong in that department. You're not wrong in that department. Cinnamon Toast Crunch dip cone? Intriguing. Dairy Queen slaps though. Boise's a possible expansion, but I would think right now, like for the 10th team, Michigan, Seattle, San Diego, like those are like the main. New Orleans, even they're in a more realistic possible locations because because a lot of the options are because like Oklahoma City that's been confirmed. It's more on TV ratings. The Boise Broncos. No, they probably would not be doing that. That's probably not what's going to happen. Because they're probably going to have dispute with the university. They're probably going to have dispute with the university with the trademark. First out of 10 at the 26-yard line. Deion King going in motion. DTR under shotgun. Hey, make sure you don't get him open. Going deep, going down the middle of the field. And that was way too far for Daiwood Davis. He is a speedster for sure, but it was just not. Just a little less oomph for him to catch. I like to troll a bit. It's like saying they're going to call Oklahoma City the Thunder. That's pretty much what they're doing. Of course, I like to troll a little bit too. I like to do things that are obvious. Like if it's subtle, I can't tell. CJ and Mickens going in motion, DTR trying to run away. He's going to throw off the back foot way out of bounds. That will be third down and 10. He did throw that away for sure, but the pressure was definitely there for Columbus, and that's a guy who's been utilizing the pressure. Celestin Haba, he's been utilizing pressure throughout the game. That is also true. There's good trolling and there's bad trolling. That is also a thing too. My gosh, bottom of the 5th, Brave beating the Red Sox 7-0. Oh, friggin' take it. Come on, Atlanta. DTR throwing out the pressure, almost caught it with one hand, but that will be a quick 3 and out for the Stallions with 3:25 remaining. So defense caught themselves a good break, but they really again, the offense is what they got to work on. They got to work on the offense. And because of that pressure, he could not throw the ball accurately to Barber. Winston Jr. out there waiting for the return. Winston waiting for the return. It should be delay of game, but okay. And that's a really deep kick. Deep punt. He will slip, and he gets past the 10, past the 15. He managed to salvage some of the yards, but he will get tackled right before the 20. It was a little deeper than he expected. That was a good punt, though. And then he slipped and fell. Thankfully, it's not college rules where if you're down on the ground, you're considered down. So that's a good news. Oh my goodness, this freaking guy saying, if you ever wonder how stupid Disney executives, they wanted to release Toy Story 2 straight to DVD. Well, because they never knew. Well, the reason why they wanted to try to do straight to DVD was because they never knew. They did not know. They did not expect how much success Toy Story was going to get. Now, but now that Toy Story was a big hit before they started working on Toy Story 2, now they decided, okay, instead of releasing it to DVD, let's go ahead and release it to theaters. Because they never knew Toy Story was going to be a hit, especially as the first computer-generated movie out there. Because they never knew how big it was. It wasn't because they're stupid. They just never knew what was because the story was very different at first, and they made this choice at the first start of production. Yeah, back then that's what Disney animated sequels typically did. Yeah, that is true. Especially like Beauty and the Beast, Mulan, other was it Aladdin? But regardless, I mean that's what they did back in the day. I thought they could do the same thing with Toy Story, but nope. Examples of good trolling are inside jokes like Holy Toledo. But yeah, so that's one sack. Let's see, there's one sack, there's 2 sacks. All the utilizing this pressure, and it's not even blitzing. 3 sacks. Kind of reminds me of Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh he rarely blitz, and he can still get to your quarterback. It's like, I could get to your guy. I don't need the blitz. 4 sacks today. In the first 7 weeks, only 11. Oh my goodness. No sack. There's rarely any sack production. But now you got 4 of them. Keep on at them. Pressure McLendon. McLendon, he's going to keep it to himself. And McLendon gets about 5-6 yards. That's not bad. Not too bad for McLendon. 2nd and 5. But again, like the run game was not there for Columbus today. 2nd down 5 for Columbus. It's pretty insane that Pixar wasn't owned fully by Disney until 2006. But that is true. That is definitely true. And then Tawa. And Pixar was a startup job. I think it was startup job. It was Steve Jobs that was part of it too. Because the bigger question was, well, I'm looking this up. Who owned Pixar before Disney? Who owned Pixar before Disney? Yeah, McLendon getting it to White. Oh, okay, he got it. He managed to extend the play and get the first down. Yeah, so it was. Let's see. Yeah, so no, it was you're saying I'm seeing it. It was mainly Steve Jobs. Because Steve Jobs co-founded. Yeah, yeah, because it became known as the graphics group. Yeah, the graphics group of Lucasfilm's computer division from 1979 to 1986. And they were founded 40 years ago. Founded by Edwin Clumpmel and Olive Ray Smith. Yeah, see, I'm looking up 2000. Yeah, it was. Yeah, because Pixar was more independent. Well, they were more independent. We reached the end of the third quarter, by the way. Yeah, I think. Yeah, then 2006. Let's see. Oh, listen to this. So, collaboration with Disney, 99 in 2006, right? Pixar and Disney. I'm just having this out of Wikipedia, and they said, "quote Disney and Pixar and Disney had disagreements over the production of Toy Story 2, originally intended as a direct-to-video release, and thus not part of the Pixar's three-picture deal. The film was eventually upgraded to a theatrical release during production." Pixar demanded that the film then can be counted towards the three-picture agreement, but Disney refused. Pixar, though profitable for both, Pixar later complained that the arrangement was not equitable. Pixar was responsible for creation and production, while Disney handled marketing and distribution. Profits and production costs were split equally, but Disney exclusively owned all story, character, and sequel rights and collected a 10 to 15% distribution fee. End quote. Yeah, because it was pretty much the disagreement between Steve Jobs and Disney CEO Michael Eisner. Yeah, and that's why I say fully, because they did have a partnership. Yeah, for the time being. So now, yeah, in January 24th, 2006, so 20 years ago, Disney bought Pixar for $7.4 billion in all stock deal. The acquisition was completed on May 5th, 2006. The transactions catapulted Jobs, who owned the majority, or 49.65% of the total share interest to Pixar. Pixar to Disney's largest individual shareholder was 7%. So now that's where John Lasseter became executive vice president, became chief creative officer. So that's how that happened. I gotta look more into that, but that is crazy. Like yeah. So like, yes, Pixar made the movies, right? Because think about the movies that came out by Pixar before Disney, right? Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., and The Incredibles. Five movies. Five movies before Disney was responsible for both. And because of the disagreements, like Wikipedia mentioned about Toy Story 2, that causes delay in production, and that caused the movie Cars to be delayed in production, because it was originally supposed to come out in 2005, but it was delayed to 2006, which again was the year that Disney bought Pixar. Because so I guess what I'm seeing there is that Pixar handled the production, while Disney was handling the marketing, but at the same time, they hold all of they were holding the rights of the characters and everything else. And they hold 10 to 15% of the interest fee, which was, I can see why the people at Pixar were not happy about that. And they have to love it, trying to go up the middle. They just not doing anything up in the middle. That's only a gain of 2. Yeah, that's what I say fully, because they did not have a partnership. Yeah, it wasn't Wolven Foley. Last 10 plus yard play, 4:15 left in the first quarter. Yeah, their offense are not doing good. Ain't doing good, Chief. Clock is continuing down. Yes, it's still 1 possession game, but man, something's got to happen. They're in 5. McClendon gets to Kiki Chisholm, and Chisholm trying to break tackles, and he does try to break a tackle, but he will get down around the 47-yard line. There's a bit of a big play right there, and that was definitely 10 plus yards. That was definitely 10 plus yards. Throwing the needle, and they could not bring Chisholm down any further. He was getting pushed around. And I think that was the first time we saw Kiki Chisholm for today. The receivers really haven't been getting a lot of action today. McClendon going to hand us off to Lovett. Again, why? They always go in the middle. Why are you not going outside when you're trying to run? They keep going up the middle. You're being one-dimensional about your running attack. You're not getting any rushing yards out of anything today against the Stallions defense. Second down and 10. Second down and 10. McClendon. There's a catch. Now you pass the 50. You can't punt. Now you're at the 47. So you get a gain of 6. So you're 3rd and 4. So you're more like a 3rd and medium. Well, you got to come up with something. You got to come up with a better play side. It looks like McClendon is tapping out. And looks like Jalen Morton is going to come in as quarterback. Because they might do a QB run design or something. What were you trying to do? They tried to pitch it to a player running in motion. They had to pitch it off to Gunnar Oaks, and then he got nowhere. What were you trying to gain? What were you trying to gain at Columbus? I don't know what you were trying to gain at. And now you cross the 50, you cannot punt. You cannot punt. 4th and 5. At the 48, you need to get to the 43. Oh, he got that. Wow. They did a run play on 4th and 5, and Talbot went up and barely got it. Holy crap. I did not expect that. I thought that was going to go nowhere. I thought that was going to be plain stupid, but they got it. Wow. Drive continues for Columbus. Stallions, what are you doing? You were stopping the run, and then you did not stop this. Yes, I know it's only 5 yards, but still, he got the yards he need. Oh, man. First down and 10. McClendon throwing a deep 50-50 ball, incomplete. And is intended for Kiki Chisholm. But look at the boom. just utilizing his power, he did indeed get it. Now, I know that's confirmed. He did get it. Bonk. Sag it down to 10. Yeah, only 213 yards of the season and 2 touchdowns. I can barely see the shirtless section over there. Play action, McLondon. McLondon, he's going to try to run. Is he going to go for it? And he does. And he will dive at the 35-yard line. So he's about third and short, probably third and 2, third and 3. Under 10 minutes left of the fourth quarter now, 9:43, and continuing to clock down. It's a very hot day. Going down the field. Yeah, 3rd and 4 now. 9:22. They got to get to the 33. McLondon rolling to his right again, and he's going to sidestep, but he's going to get tripped up and get sacked. And there's Isaiah Coe. This time we'll get the credit. McLondon tried to run, but he got tripped up in the backfield. So now you're back at the same position before at 4th and 5. Now you're going to go for a field goal. It's a long one, too. This is a 55-yarder, and it's not for 4 points. This is a big field goal here. Off the right hash, too. And the kick is blocked. Kick is blocked by the Stallions. Returning it down the sideline. 30, 20. Jumps over the man. 10. And he's in the end zone. Touchdown. The Stallions with a blocked field goal return for a touchdown by Stephen Gilmore. Oh my goodness. Special teamers make special plays, ladies and gentlemen. Holy crap. Columbus has spent almost 10 minutes on the drive just to have the Stallions score on them. Oh, man. And he's the one who blocked the field goal, too. So he gets credit for all of the work. The block and returning it for a touchdown. And shout out to Tizino for assisting Gilmore with the return and continuing with the block. That's a thing of beauty of a blocked field goal right there. Instead of shortening it by 1 point, Stallions are up by multiple possessions. Extra point is up, and it is good. 18-18 remaining. It is 14-3. Columbus is on red alert. This is DEFCON 5. Things are not going the way Aviators are in deep doo-doo. They are in deep trouble. 14-3 Stallions with a blocked field goal return by Stephen Gilmore. And what a day he is having. My gosh, what a turn of events are we seeing? What turn of events are we seeing? Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. I think the defenders have another curse, the neon green curse. Oh my gosh, he's right. The neon green curse. Oh, man. What in the heck is going on, Columbus? Dun, 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 dun. I need sriracha dip. Mm-hmm. Oh, again, yeah. There's again the playoff picture. Storm will face the Kings. Hawks will face Defenders if the playoffs ended today. But again, with the bottom line going throughout the day, Columbus loses today. They are eliminated from playoff contention. 8-18 remaining in the fourth quarter of the game. Yeah, Stephon Gilmore will be proud. Stephon Gilmore will definitely be proud of him with the game that he is having today. For sure. You're going to take it from the 5 with a return. And look like he got a nice return to the 40. And he will step out around midfield, around the 49-yard line in their own territory. So decent field position for Columbus. But now their offense got to get some work. Their offense has been questionable at best today. The offense has really not been well. Block, field goal, return, touchdown, and an interception. What a day for him. And Columbus has a lot more yards. They have 159 total yards and 51 total plays. And they're still losing. And more rushing yards. And definitely a lot more possession. Empty backfield look now. Because right now, desperate time calls for desperate measures. Throwing it, pressured. The pocket was closing in. He was looking for Gunnar Oaks. That will go incomplete. Second down and 10 now. Second and 10 now. Let's see. Second down and 10. Second down and 10 from the 47. McLendon going deep, and that's a catch right there. That's the Tay Martin at the 33-yard line. They're now in Stallion territory. So they really got to get going with the ball here to try to go a little bit quicker so they can have a lot more time on their final drive. Tay Martin, a name we have not called on a lot today. He's been a reliable receiver for the Aviators this season. But today we haven't really called on his name today because of the defense that the Stallions bring, doing a heck of a job. McLendon throwing it with a jump ball. He had him wide open. And Martin looks like he was looking for a penalty, I would believe. Let's take a look. He's lining up on the slot on the right side, and he's trying to go for a crossing route. Oh, I see. He think that Norwood bumped him. But you can't challenge that because you already used your challenge. For the interception. And again, Martin's lining up on the slot again. He might go post again. He's gonna do a check down to him to the 29, so that's a gain of 4. Gain of 4 for Martin. So you gotta come up with something a little bit different if you are Todd Haley. What do you need to do if you are Todd? What do you do if you are Todd? 6:10 remaining, 3rd and 6 at the 28. or 29. Coming back, 5-man rush. It looks like it. Gets to that is caught. Oh, come on. That was Cameron McDonald, but you're 4th down. You do not need to kick a field goal. What you do need to do is you're 4th and 2, so you're very close to get a 1st down. But you really got to come up with something. Don't try to run up the middle. You got to come up with something nice. Got to come up with something nice. You're 2 yards. You're on the brink of elimination with a loss today, so you got to go for something. You got to go for it some way, somehow. It looks like a timeout's been called. They cannot get the playoff in time, so timeout called by Columbus. They got to get the right play. And once I said again, folks, today if the Aviators lose, they are eliminated from playoff contention. They will still be alive if they win today. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for this game. Grab yourself some popcorn because who knows how this will turn out. Because I feel like if Columbus does not get the 1st down here, then it's going to be game over. They got to get the right play. Sally's got to make sure that Sally's got to make sure they also have the right defense to call for whatever play they have coming up next. What would it be? Who frickin' knows? Who the heck knows? Oh, great. Braves are in a rain delay. How joyful. Yankees beating the Mets 5-1. I'll take it. I'll take it any day. All right, 4th and 12. Do they got the right play? Line is shifting over to the right for the Stallions. Trying to run up. Why are you trying to run up the middle? Why do they run up the middle every time? Why do you think that works? Why do you think it works, Todd? What is this? Adam Gase when he was running up the middle with Le'Veon Bell and Frank Gore? What the hell are you doing? Why are you running up the middle? Why are you trying to run up the middle? That never freaking works. And you're running that in shotgun. You're running that in shotgun. What are you doing? I don't understand. I really don't understand what they are trying to do here. Oh my gosh. I'm just mad with the play calling. I'm just so mad. Oh no. What makes Birmingham Birmingham? The Stallions, of course. Alrighty, what can Columbus do defensively? Again, like I don't understand why are you running up the middle? And 58 was not blocking. He never blocked. He wasn't blocking anybody. He wasn't blocking anybody. Stallions just made a good defensive play. But then also at the same time, Todd Haley, why are you running up the middle? And he's pissed. Like right now, so Quandre White is pissed. Like he's showing teammates. He is livid. He is very livid right now. He is very livid. Run up by Price, gets a gain of 2 to 3 yards. Right now, if you're the Stallions, you're going to try to milk as much clock as you can. But I don't think you can right now because now we have an injured Stallion on the field. And it looks like there is an injured. How long left? We have 5 minutes and 1 second left of the game. Aviators try to go for it on 4th and 2. They ran up the middle, but the Stallions stuffed them on the run. But the Aviators' run game has been struggling today against the Stallions' defense. Bend, don't break. They bend, but they don't break. And we have an injured Stallion down on the field. Let's see. Who was it? It was number 67, I think. Number 67. That's how much we have the game left. This is Robinson. Robinson is the one who is hurt. Tyrese Robinson. 62, not 67. Correction. So one of the guards is now out for the time being. 2nd down and 7. Stallions trying to go for a first down. Clock resumes. 4:50 down to go. They're going to keep running the ball. And Snoop Connor does he get the first down, or is he going to be stopped short? They're going to say he stopped short, just 1 yard short of a first down. Stop short of a first down. But if the first down does happen for Columbus, they will need to go ahead and start calling their timeout so they can have time and they can do the 4th and 12. So that is definitely what's at stake here. Here, I'm going to put it down here. I think that's a lot better. Right now, the Aviators are bunched in. You're leaving the middle open. And it looks like they got the first down just barely. First down, Stallions, 4 minutes remaining. Clock will continue to wind down. Stallion still needs it. But here's a caution now. But now here's a caution. So where is he tackled? Okay, so he's tackled at the 48. It looks like he's tackled on the 38-yard line. So that means your first down marker is now at the 48. Because if you don't get the first down, you can always go ahead and punt the ball, try to pin them as far back as you can. That's always an alternative. Because once you cross the 50, you cannot punt it. You can still get the first down, but you might as well just stay back there. Oh, dude, you miss games. Dude, like, Storm clinched the playoff spot over the Renegades. Renegades went from 3-0 to now 3-5. The Defenders lost to the Kings not once but twice in a row now, getting swept. And the Gamblers beat the Battlehawks, shockingly. So there you go. And if you look at the bottom line here, the Aviators are at risk of being eliminated today from playoff contention if they lose to the Stallions. So that is what is at stake right now. 2nd down and 6. They're just milking as much clock as they can. And then there is the tackle. There is a tackle only for a gain of 1. And it looks like Columbus has taken a timeout. I'm going to wait until see if that is confirmed. It looks like it's 2:24. Is the clock confirmed? Let's see. Timeout taken by Columbus. It was a big sports/TV weekend over here, and I saw the final scores on Instant. I was like, for F's sakes, miss some bangers. Yeah, man, like DC struggled. They're a 3 seed, but Louisville right now has the 4th seed. But Birmingham wins, it will overtake the King spot for the 4th seed. right now they're looking at 3rd and 5. And try to figure out, okay, if we do get the ball back, how can we go to scoring? Because Columbus, they got to get a touchdown and they got to get a 4th and 12. There's no other way. There's no other way around it. And there was no other way around it. But if you're Birmingham, just get Columbus to waste a timeout. Because if you you can get a first down. First down's at the 48. You're at your own 40. You're at your own 43. It's just if you cross the 50, you can't punt it. I am getting tickets for a CFP game in London. Got lucky cheap tickets. Nice. Looks like they might go for a pass play. Pressure coming in for DTR, and he does throw it, but he did go out of bounds. So that will stop the clock only temporarily. Not inside the 2 minutes, but that is 4th down for sure. The clock did stop temporarily, but now you just got to punt it, pin the Aviators deep. That's mainly what you need to. That's mainly what you do. So we're going to go ahead and head over to the 2-minute warning. Feel like the game is over, but the game is not over until the clock hits triple zeros. But I am getting well, because I heard like CFP is now getting games for out of games now. I thought it was only just for Ireland, you know. Mm-hmm. But Aviators, in my opinion, I think they're playing too chicken crap for deep passes. They're just playing scared on offense. Like they're like, okay, we're just going to go for running up the middle, then we're just doing screen passes. Like that's all they do. I mean, they're not doing any risk takers or anything. So it's like, okay, so you're not really getting the offense going. You only have 3 points. You're down by 11. So you also got to get a 2-point conversion. Got to get a 2-point conversion. Two minutes remaining. It is 4th down and 2. Stallions are going to punt it away. So try to play good, proper field position. That's something I would do if I was Birmingham. Just play for field position. Columbus is down by 2. It is 14-3. As well. Oh, hold up. We got a penalty on the field. Looks like that's going to be false start onto Birmingham. False start on the kicking team. So a little bit more leeway. Now you got a little bit more of a leeway. Now it's 4th and 7. So Wadman now back for the punt. But they're going to try to see if they can block it. It's a relatively short pump. Oh, he gets hit definitely hard, but gets down around the 45-yard line. So decent field position. It was a shorter punt than it was a short punt. Huh. That was a really short punt. He got freaking blasted. Bonk. I think it was Norwood with the hit. Yeah, it was Norwood with the hit, I believe. Trey Norwood. First down and 10. Only one timeout remaining for Columbus. First down and 10 from McClendon gets batted down. Incomplete. It was batted down. So again, that Stallion defense, bend but don't break. Bend but don't break. That was TJ Carter with the bat down. Second down 10. They got 3 more shots of getting a first down. They got to get first downs. But the more plays they go, the more time they're going to waste. So second down and 10. McLendon, pressure's coming. They're trying to. I don't know why you're trying to do a check down, and then now you gotta go ahead and spike it. Now you gotta go spike it. You gotta go relatively fast here. Third down 6. You gotta get the heck on going. McLendon throwing deep right side. Oh my God, he had him. He just threw it just in front of Wells. Oh my God. Oh, that is frustrating to watch. He had him open. That could have been touchdown. He threw it too far in front of him. Oh my gosh, that team, man. Oh, Columbus, this is your last chance. That's your last chance now. And he gets batted up in the air, picked, and that will do it. And that'll do it. And like that, ladies and gentlemen, Columbus have taken the L. And because they have lost, they have been officially eliminated from playoff contention. The Stallions will go to 4-4, and they will take their spot back as the 4th seed of the UFL playoff seeds. Because right now, the fight is between Stallions and Kings. Stallions, Kings, Defenders, and Gamblers. Who will get the final seed? That is something that we will find out soon enough. Thank you guys so very much for joining the stream. I know it was a long way to return. Was it not as a good game? Nah, it wasn't. It was low scoring. But at least it was football. At least that's the good news on that. So thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.